All right. Hello and good morning, Keller Williams, Greater Metropolitan, and welcome to another installment of your weekly sales meeting. Very excited to have all of you with us today. We have a fantastic meeting on deck. As it is the last Tuesday of the month, we will be doing our full Market Center update where we'll hear from a lot of members of our leadership team and staff, updating you on some of the things that are changing within or some updates around our technology, around what's going on from a broker and a coach standpoint, as well as some of the big events we have on the horizon for the back half of 2021. So as we have been for this entire year, we want to start with a conversation, whether it's about our mission, our vision, our values, our belief system, our perspective, whatever it is. Today, I wanted to talk about the values of the company very briefly to start off. So the values of Keller Williams are God, family, and then business, very intentionally put together in the early 80s by our founder, Gary Keller. And so there's one in there that I want to talk specifically about today, and that's family. A lot of times in this company, in this specific office, we'll hear, a conversation amongst agents, or we'll hear the relationship between people that work for this company together. They'll describe each other as family. And what is really amazing is that is, that's not a platitude. That's not just something that's said. We actually have a really powerful vehicle as an organization where we protect and take care of our family, and that's KW Cares. So, in the last 2.5 weeks, we've had several agents in the office, whether it be loss of a loved one, a spouse, a bad break on a deal that led to a cash shortfall or some other tragedies. There's been despite the beautiful weather, there's been a little bit of a dark cloud for some of our agents, and we're in a position as an organization, specifically through the mechanism of KW Cares Cleveland, to fill those gaps or to soften those blows and to make a difference for those agents in their time of need. And the only way that we're able to do that is because of the generosity of the other agents in this office. So we raise somewhere around $20,000 a year through KW Cares, and that money goes, sits in an account, in a war chest, as I like to call it, so that when we have to go to battle for one of our people, we can. I just wanted to take the opportunity this morning, thinking about our values, thinking about what's important to us, thinking about the opportunity that a really strong real estate business provides for us to make a difference in other people's lives. If you are looking for an opportunity to give charitably, if you're looking for an opportunity to lean in, it's very easy to give a little bit out of each deal. That's the quickly becoming the lion's share of the fundraising that we do through KW Cares is folks just give $5 or $10 off a deal. Or if you have a particularly large deal and you want to do something different, or if you know somebody's in need and you want to use Cares as the conduit to get them the help, please, there is it's all confidential. If you know someone that needs help, we want to be able to help them because that's what our values say that we should do. And it feels good. So that's, if you have any other questions or you're like, hey, this is the first time I'm hearing about Cares, I want to learn more, please reach out to me or any other member of the leadership team, and we'll be in a position to answer any questions and help you find ways to get involved. So thank you all for your constant support of our company and our agents and living the values. So let's go ahead and start painting the town red. Guys, we, as a company, Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan, has been a listing machine in the month of June. And that is a nice carryover from the month of May as well. We are currently continuing to outpace the market in listings. That is a huge accomplishment in a very tight very competitive market. The fact that you are out there winning the listings in relationship with people who know, like, and trust you and want you to sell the single largest asset that they'll ever own is quite impressive. So congratulations to you on that. Don't waste the opportunity now to tell us about those listings in the chat. And if you haven't locked down a listing recently, but you got a buyer that you just got to get into a house, let's go ahead and put that in the chat box too. Label it a buyer need, and we will see if we can't make a little love connection in the chat box. So on to celebrations. Hopefully you guys have seen some traffic on our Facebook page, our public facing Facebook page, about some of our agents who were recognized in the 2021 America's Best Real Estate Professionals. So I want to recap that because I know there were a lot of folks. So I want you to know who you should be slapping on the back and giving a couple attaboys to. First and foremost, the only individual agent from our office to make the list was Melanie Sweeney. So congratulations, Melanie. If you missed it, Melanie did just over $16 million in business last year, and I believe just under 60 units. And so an incredible accomplishment to crack this list. To make it in volume or units, there's a really precarious, Cleveland's a very middle of the road market in a lot of ways from a volume, from a price point standpoint. So you got to be on the coast to hit the volume, and you got to be in a flyover state to hit the units. But for her to do that here is really quite impressive. So congratulations, Melanie. Amongst our small teams, we had several recognized for their performance last year, in the rolling 12 months, including everyone you see here. So really, really impressive performance all around amongst small teams. And to clarify, anything that is less than 2 to 5 licenses is considered a small team. So some really impressive showings there. From a medium team standpoint, this is going to be 6 to 10 licenses. So congratulations to both the Socher and the Safe Harbor team for their accomplishment. And then large teams are 11 or more licenses. So the Young team, the Chase group, and the Golden group all recognized for both units and volume. And a special shout out to the Young team, recognized in the top 25 of the top 1,000 teams in the entire United States. So keep that name in mind, the Young team and Ryan Young. We're going to be talking a little bit about his participation in our Mastermind coming up in the middle of July. But congratulations to all those teams. Huge accomplishments, and really excited to see where everyone's business goes in the next year. And then finally, keeping it local here, Cleveland Magazine's 2021 Top Real Estate Agents in Northeast Ohio. All of these individuals recognized from our office. Very awesome accomplishment. This is a recognition that comes from the votes from other real estate agents. So only real estate agents can vote on the top real estate agents. Only, you need a license to do it, and you can only vote once. So to have this many people in our office recognized by their peers as individuals that are amongst the best people to work with is a great indication of our culture and what we've accomplished. So last call for the survey. This is going to be dropped in the chat box right now. Please give it a click and fill it out. We have got a lot of response. We know that there's a lot of great information in there. We've started to compile it, and we want to include your thoughts and feedback on what we're doing as an organization. And so we will be closing the survey end of day Friday. And then we will be reporting out on some of our findings and some of the things that we're going to do to better serve you all as agents as we go through the month of July. So look forward to that, but please give us your feedback. Let us know what's working, what's not working currently with our company. All right, so tonight, 5:30 p.m., we are going to have a lot of fun in our Rocky River and Pepper Pike offices, as well as on Zoom, for our monthly career night. Know that we've got a lot of folks headed in for this one. It should be a great turnout, should be a lot of fun. If you know anybody, whether they're not licensed at all, whether they are in school right now, whether they have an active license, right? This is a great opportunity to get a full-throated explanation to what is Keller Williams, what is Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan, what do we do, how are we going to help you build your business? And oh, by the way, if you aren't yet licensed or aren't in the process, here's the soup to nuts explanation of how to go from, you know, man on the street to a licensed real estate professional in just a few months. So we cover all of that, have a few laughs, at least I do, and we always have a good time. All right, so quick update on upcoming sales meetings. No sales meeting next week. The Independence Day holiday will be observed on Monday, and as we typically do, we will not hold a sales meeting since we know folks are maybe doing something fun that weekend, traveling back. We don't want to put any stress on you. On the 13th, we will have our 6-month market update. So we'll be covering what's happened in the first 6 months of the year. What's the performance of you and your business against those trends? And then what are our expectations for the next 6 months? So no crystal balls will be busted out. There will be no incredibly accurate predictions. No one's going to put any money on the line, but we want to have a conversation about what can we learn from the last 6 months and what's happened versus the next 6 months, and how do we shift our business, right, to be where our clients need us to be so that we continue to grow and can help as many people as possible. That is not needing to be there. All right, so before we jump into the tech one-on-ones, I am going to throw it over to Miss Julia Cumming to talk a little bit about what's going on, some updates with Command. She works with a group at KWRI directly called the Enablement Team. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Julia?
Good morning, everyone. So with the Enablement Team, they hand out quarterly updates both via email and Zoom. So I was able to jump on that call last week and just wanted to give you a couple updates from their Q2 updates inside of Command. So the big first one is Twilio, which is the texting system inside of Command. And that is something that you can set up through a smart plan. You can bulk text a set of contacts with a certain tag, or you can just go into an individual contact and select to text them. And you sign up through the KW Marketplace to create a Twilio account and get a phone number. Something that has just recently been fixed is that if somebody who is not currently a contact in your database texted your Twilio number, maybe it was on marketing material, you wouldn't be able to receive that. And now that is fixed. So what happens is if it's somebody who's not a contact in your database and they text you, it creates a new contact, it marks it as a lead, and you get a notification via Kelly. And when you log into Command on the bell, you'll see a 1 that you had a new lead come in. So if you're using Twilio, reaching out to people, putting it on marketing so that people can text in and they are then registered into your Command, that is now available for people who you didn't have as contacts before. The other big update is the Q2 Consumer Magazine. So this is something that's inside of designs. If you were to go to design templates and to lead generation, you'll see something called the Personal Branded Zine, which is what looks like a digital magazine. And Keller Williams puts these out quarterly. So the Q2 one is now live. You can customize it, delete pages, add pages, and you can use it on the web, or you can have it as print material. So those are two big updates from the Q2 Enablement Team. Additionally, they offer courses that you can sign up for too. So they have DocuSign training. They have a new one called Grow and Maintain Your Referral Network. And these are sporadically offered. Usually you can choose from a couple different days of the week or times so that it fits into your schedule. So I'll drop both of those training links into the chat. And just be on the lookout on our bi-weekly emails. Usually there's updates from the KW Enablement Team in there as well.
All right, awesome. Thank you, JC. I'm having some 90s flashbacks here when you're talking about putting a zine on the web. Wow, that is some hip lingo. Now we're going to throw it over to Miss Ceara, who's going to tell us a little bit about some opportunities for you all to get some quality time with a member of the staff in July.
Good morning, everyone. So through July, we are bringing back one-on-one tech appointments, whether you want to learn about smart plans, how to properly tag your contacts so that you can effectively reach out to them, building your website, Facebook campaigns, whatever it is. There's a Google form I'm going to put in the chat box and you can fill that out. We'll do 30-minute appointments with a member of the leadership team and we'll get you set up. Those will be July 13th, 20th, and the 27th from 1 to 3, 30-minute block in there. I'll also email out the Google form so that everyone has it.
All right, awesome. Yeah, guys, a great opportunity for those of you who have maybe not been able to make it to some of the Tech Tuesday classes in previous months or need a little bit more of hands-on support. We've heard that. We definitely saw that bubble up through the survey that we put out. So take advantage of the opportunity to get some one-on-one time with any member of the leadership team to get some good support around KW Command. And now we're going to throw it over to Miss Danielle Sullivan this morning. I can't find you, but maybe spotlight yourself. There you go. And let's talk about the Summer Mastermind, the real estate event of the summer, I believe is what we're calling this, right?
That's what we're calling it, yeah. So our Summer Masterminds are July 15th, which is 2 weeks away from tomorrow. We have about 35 seats left. This is at Mayfield Country Club. This is not via Zoom. This is in person. If you don't have a ticket, I promise you will have FOMO, the fear of missing out if you are not there. So July 15th, Mike, can you start scrolling through some of those panelists? So we have 3 different breakout sessions that you guys will be choosing from. Choose wisely. Once you choose your breakout session, you cannot move per COVID guidelines at Mayfield. So we have lots of top agents. You guys can see them on here. Once you're going through the breakouts in Eventbrite, which we'll throw into the chat box, you get to choose what you want to do for each breakout. So you can do breaking into luxury, winning for buyers in a seller's market. Ryan Young is our headliner event. So he is doing an event during 2 of the breakout sessions, taking listings in today's market. Don't choose to sit through 2 of his because that is silly, but make sure you get in for one of his during breakout 1 or breakout 2. And then your leadership team is going to MC all of these. So we are going to be asking all these fabulous panelists questions, and they're going to be giving you tips and tricks. So July 15th, this is in person. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., so come spend the morning with us at Mayfield Country Club. I think the link was just dropped in the chat box. And like I said, we probably have only about 35 seats left, and this will cap off per COVID guidelines, so make sure you guys are getting your tickets. Cool? Questions? We good? Mike, anything else I missed?
No, that is awesome. We have so many amazing agents in this market center, and we are so fortunate to be able to put on an event like this because everyone is willing to share and care about everyone else's business. So this is going to be amazing. Cannot wait to do it. Cannot wait to see you all there live and in living color. All right. So now we're going to throw it over to Mr. Eric Uchbar, our productivity coach in the Pepper Pike office for this month's Coach's Corner. Eric, what's the latest and greatest from a productivity standpoint, my friend?
Yeah, we've got some great results, better year than we've ever had before in productivity coaching, and wanted to bring something a little bit new that we're doing and open it up. I've got 2 things for everyone. So number 1, we're starting another coaching program, and this is to help agents really get going in the business. If you feel like you need an extra couple transactions, our average we're looking for is about 5 to 8 per year, which I know some of you may say that's not a ton, Eric. If you're already doing 5 or 10, this could get you to 15 or 20. That's what we're looking to do with it. And it's also going to help you get into a rhythm. So this is a lead program that you're actually going to be getting leads from the system. There's marketing involved. There's websites that are created for you. It's a hands-off setup that it just auto enrolls. There's some really neat features about it. So if you want to know more, I just put my text in, or my phone number and email in there. And then secondly, if you're feeling like you're in a little bit of a slump or in overwhelm that I hear all the time from so many agents, especially right now, we may need to have a discussion about what's going on in your mind and what your mindset looks like. Again, Diana Kokoska always used to talk about 90% of businesses in your mindset. We had a discussion last week about it, that it's probably even closer to 100%, because if your mindset's right, you're doing all the things correctly. You're spending time with your family, your friends. You're not working till 9 o'clock at night. You're not sending back and forth texts and emails and feeling like you're overwhelmed. Or maybe you're on the opposite side of that spectrum and you feel like you need to be doing more work, you need to be getting up earlier, you need to be doing whatever that is. Tomorrow during coaching, everyone's invited if you want to come. You can either come 11 o'clock in person or 5:30 in the evening. We had a great turnout last week for part 1 of Mindset. This is part 2 of Mindset. So anyone who wants to come, you can, if you need, send me an email or a text. We can send you the link if you're going to show up at the 5:30, or if you want to come in at the 11 o'clock, we'll have room for you upstairs. That's all I got.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. What a great opportunity. Don't feel like you have to be under 1 year to drop in tomorrow and have Eric talk mindset to you. Such an important part of everyone's business, regardless of, as he said, you are overwhelmed with too much business, or maybe getting a little bit skittish due to the drought in your pipeline. So please take advantage of that. And thank you for opening that up to everyone, Eric. All right. And now we will throw it over to Mr. Andrew Ginter, your principal broker, and have him talk a little bit about, in this wild market that we're in, we're seeing a lot more FSBOs, and there's a little bit of nuance involved with that, right, Andrew?
Yeah. I was thinking as I was listening to everybody else talk today already, I feel like I could probably spend a couple hours today going through some things. But there's actually 3 things I want to touch on today. One of them is a repeat from a month or 2 ago, but I feel like we're still having some trouble with it. But we'll start off with FSBOs. Recently, we've got a lot of just incomplete files when either we are representing a FSBO, basically just, they've got a buyer and then they call their agent and we're representing them and doing the paperwork basically. And then still where we're representing buyers buying FSBOs. In both cases, before there's a contract, there's gotta be some kind of commission agreement or hiring agreement. So if we're representing the FSBO, there needs to be on a blank addendum something that's very specific. We don't need a listing agreement. All we need is something that says very clearly that they're hiring Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan, and fill in the blank with your name there, as their agent to represent them in the sale of their property address to so-and-so being the buyer, and then a period there, and then another sentence that just lays out how much the commission is. So again, being very clear about the fact that they're hiring us to represent them. So when you're doing paper for a FSBO, you're working for them. You're not just giving them papers. You're actually going to be representing them, and it's important we have a document that says that, since there won't be a listing agreement. And then on the buyer side, I feel like this has always been the case, but lately people aren't doing it. They're just expecting the last page of the contract to be the commission statement. Again, we need 1 page on a blank addendum where you can use the commission letter that we have in Dotloop and DocuSign that just lays out very clearly that a seller agrees to pay our brokerage a commission of X if buyer buys the property. So that's all that's needed. But lately we're not getting that ever in those cases. And lately it's been fine because deals have closed and everybody's been happy. But most of the time in real estate, if you make mistakes and everything closes, it never gets uncovered that you made a mistake. And then all of a sudden when it goes bad, then we've got a serious problem. So please make sure that you're doing those things. If you have any questions about it, call me. Next up is a repeat. No rules for sellers on multiple offers. I feel like this is something I talked about a couple of months ago, but we're still having some issues with it. So when you're representing a buyer it is super important that when you're in multiple offers, you are clear with them about what a seller can and can't do, which is they can do pretty much anything as long as it's what they want to do. Their agent can do it. They can tell people what the highest offer is. They can not tell people what the highest offer is. They can negotiate with one of the 10 offers or all of the 10 offers. There really are no rules. And it's important that your buyer understands that, so that if they see something happening that they think is unfair, or they feel slighted, that then they're going to be upset with you over it. But if you've already covered it with them, they won't be. And likewise, when you're representing the seller, it's important that you tell your seller that stuff too, that we don't have to keep all these offers a secret. We can negotiate with one party and not the rest if we want to. It's important that you explore all those avenues with your client on the seller side, so that after the fact, they don't feel like they wish they would have done it a different way. And lastly, just because we've had this issue come up so many times lately, I want to talk for just a second about just general non-performance. We've had buyers and sellers just basically pulling the plug on transactions, whether it be 10 days in or 5 days before closing. So I bring this up not because I have a great answer for how to resolve it, because it's a different situation every time, but I bring it up just to make sure that you're keeping that at the front of your mind as a possibility. We've got agents telling people when they sign contracts that it's a done deal and everything's good, and it's not. It's not over till it's over. And I just want to make sure that you're setting that expectation for your clients on the buyer and the seller side. Because as I'm sure you know, the day you sign a contract is the beginning of the race, not the end. And we need to make sure our clients feel that way, and that they understand that there's still hurdles to overcome, and we still have a job to do together. So that's it for me today. As always, please reach out to me if you feel like you're in a difficult situation. Let's talk about it before it gets worse, not after it's already terrible. So don't hesitate to call, text, email. I'm always here to help, and I'd love to help you solve a problem before it gets worse.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Andrew, and thank you for always being available to everybody. I echo the sentiments that if you are concerned about whether or not things are happening the way they should, or if if things are starting to take a turn for the worse, and you need to get ahead of it, reach out to Andrew, your productivity coach, if you are in the coaching program, myself, and we will all put our heads together and make sure that you get the best support that you need for serving your client. So thank you, as always, Andrew. All right, and now we're going to kick it over to our partners, starting with the best looking duo in mortgage, maybe ever. And that is Sean Hadley and Don Jarecki. And they are more than just pretty faces. They are quite talented when it comes to the world of mortgage. So tell us, gentlemen, what's happening?
Good morning, everybody. So rates still great. We've been kind of bouncing around right around that 3% mark. We've been there for quite some time. On the forefront here, we have job numbers coming out at the end of the week. That's always where the finance world is just on the edge of their seat. Just volatility is really all we're expecting here, kind of here moving forward, probably for most of the summer. Talk of inflation, you'll keep hearing that in the news. But couple of items were later this month. Don and I are going to kick off a little bit of a, coffee talk. The View with Don and Sean, the mortgage ditch. Well, we might let Mike name this, so caution on that. So feel free, Mike, to throw in some names or anybody else, but we'll kind of hammer out a date and kind of get a routine going for that. Talk about today, we've got Cross Country as a new program. More or less the marketplace has had a demand for it. Don jumped through some of the details on it, but it's basically more of a one-off sort of type of loan when you can't fit somebody into the proverbial box. Ways to get it done where we might be able to help that customer who's been told elsewhere, or even where we say, hey, we can't do it under option A, B, or C, so let's look at option D here. But go ahead, Don.
Yeah, we've actually come up with 4 new programs, which is, like Sean said, for anything that doesn't fit inside the box. The 4 new programs are that we've come up with that we are actually keeping in-house and underwriting here at Cross Country, which is a big deal, because anytime you try and broker out a product like this and it leaves your office, there's nothing that happens fast. There's nothing that happens well, and it just gets us all in trouble. So this is a great thing that we have this in-house now. So the first one's a bank statement program. The second product is what's called an asset qualifier, and that's for those with a high net worth, where we use their assets to qualify. The other one is an investor cash flow loan. We're going to qualify basically on the rents of the properties that they own. And the other one is what we call it's a full doc program that's just a near miss. And what that simply means is, where bankruptcy guidelines might require 4 years, we can actually do something 0 to 2 years. Now, again, these programs, being that they don't fit inside the box and are outside the box programs, are not coming with 3% interest rates. There is a premium that's paid for these products, and they're going to be anywhere, depending on down payment and credit scores, in the low 4s to the mid to upper 5s, depending on the program, depending on the credit, depending on the down payment. Now, just an example in the bank statement program, it's a minimum 10% down. We can use 12 or 24 months business or personal, or we can even combine the two. Minimum 620 credit scores. And the other thing with these two is they come with a reserve requirement, because they are an outside the box product. We like to see 6 months reserves left over after everything's all said and done. But just know that we now have a product for those that don't fit with full doc, W-2s, pay stubs, tax returns, bank statements. We have something for that borrower. And just, again, know that it'll get done, because it's being done and underwritten in-house here at Cross Country by both Sean and I. And the best thing to do is, one of the cool things on this asset qualifier, we can actually use Bitcoin to qualify people, believe it or not.
Wow.
So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm not saying send all those Bitcoin deals to us, but we have a Bitcoin asset product available.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I saw a lot of pens hit paper here on my view of the screen when you guys started talking about a couple of those. So don't be surprised if we ask for a little bit more clarity. And if you have any marketing products that kind of, show that off or encapsulate it, because there's nothing more frustrating than having a ready, willing, but not yet able buyer for a property. So this sounds like a good way to get more deals in the bucket. So gentlemen, thank you as always. And now we will throw it over to Miss Jade Tyszka for an update on the, sorry, so I accidentally spotlighted Elliot for an update on Greater Metropolitan Title. Elliot, if you want to give an update on GM Title and Escrow, you're welcome to, but I think it's probably best we hear from Jade.
Good morning, everyone. I'm not going to take up too much of your time today. I just wanted to remind everyone that GM is hosting a summer CE on July 22nd. And we are actually it's going to be a 1-hour CE class that is going to be focused on mortgage and boundary surveys and mortgage location surveys. So after that, we will eat lunch, and then we will also be doing a 1-hour paddle there. It's going to be taking place at Crooked River Adventure, which is in Burton, which is Geauga County. We will be providing lunch, and you guys will have to pay for the paddle, which is $25. So if you're interested, I will put that link in the chat box to purchase tickets. But again, it's July 22nd. So hope to see you all there.
Awesome. That sounds like a great time and an easy way to get some CE and burn some calories. We love that. All right. And then bringing it home from the partner's standpoint, Miss Jessica Ivins with Greater Metropolitan Management. Jess, we missed you last week. Excited to have you back now. What is the latest and greatest on your side of the shop?
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I wanted to first thank a lot of you who have been sending me a lot of your clients and a lot of good leads for people who are looking for property management. We've had quite a few people that you guys have recommended to me in the last couple weeks sign up with us, which is great. So we really appreciate it. And just a reminder, you will be getting a $50 referral for referring those clients over to us. Last week, I posted on our Facebook page that we have a brand new informational packet for property management. It is a really good tool for you guys to get to know property management and how it works, and also a really good tool to share with your clients that will just give you an additional resource and some added value for your investor clients. So if you want to reach out to me, if you want a copy of that, I will put my information in the chat box here, and you guys can send me an email and I will share that information packet with you. I will also bring a copy with me to the summer mastermind that I will be at in a couple weeks. So I'm excited to see all of you then.
Excellent. Yes, we are excited to see you there as well. And thank you for your support of that event. And then to bring it home, one final plug for some really fun events that are taking place this week in each one of our offices. So on tomorrow, Wednesday, June 30th in the Pepper Pike office, and then Thursday, July 1st in the Rocky River office, we will be throwing a little party for all of you, the agents, to get together, come in, grab some food, have a couple drinks, reconnect with folks you may not have seen in quite some time since, maybe in February or March of last year for some of you. And also an opportunity to meet a lot of the amazing individuals who have joined our office in the last 12 to 15 months, where we've been in certainly a different operating environment. So these are going to be a lot of fun. We'll have some tunes, we'll have some food, we'll have some booze. It'll be great. And a big thank you to Cross Country Mortgage for supporting, bringing all of us together as our sponsor for this event. But guys, please make it a priority. If you're in between showings, if you don't have anything else going, bring the wife, bring the husband, bring the kids. Hell, bring the dog if you want to. It'll be a great opportunity to reconnect and even start some relationships with folks that you call your business partners. So that is going to do it for today's meeting. Thank you all for being here. We're going to get our stilettos out the door just a few minutes early and get off to having another great week, a very strong finish to an incredible month of June that you all have had. And we're looking forward to seeing that carry over into July and the entire back half of the year. So thank you so much. Don't miss the house parties this week. We will see you Wednesday and Thursday, guys. Have an awesome day.